What's up, guys? I'm back with another 300-yard car hood penetration test. This time I'm going to try these Winchester 2 3/4 inch 1 ounce slugs out of the Winchester model 1300 Defender with an 18-inch barrel. Let's go ahead and take a look out there to see what I'm shooting at. So I'll be shooting from right there where the shotgun is, all the way out to the 300-yard spot there where the car hood is. Let's take a little closer look to see what's exactly over there. As you can see, I've set up a whole bunch of bottles full of water down here and up there. And then we got the car hood up here. And underneath the car hood, I've set up some more bottles full of water and some pieces of wood, in case we get a good hit on the hood and the slugs go through. Hopefully we can see what they'll do to these targets behind the hood. And also this time we got someone trying to take cover up here behind the bricks. It's actually a mannequin head, I think. Alright, so that's all the targets we're going to be shooting at. And here's where we're going to be shooting from. 300 yards away. Alright, I got 8 loaded up, so let's pull up the zoom camera and get started. By the way, I have no idea how much these slugs drop at 300 yards, so I'm just going to shoot some out there and hopefully we'll be able to adjust our aim and get some good hits on target. Okay, here goes. Wow, that's a lot of recoil. Knocked my bag over, that was the 4th shot. Try some more. So much recoil. Let's try some more. That barrel's hot too. Okay, I got some more loaded up. That's the whole 15 round box. That barrel's still smoking hot. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a good hit. There goes my bag again. I saw that one with my eye. And this is my last slug. Let's make it count. Well, that was 15. Hopefully we hit something. Let's go check it out. Okay, and here's the results from that. We had at least 2 of them land way down here somewhere where you could barely even see them in the zoom camera. We didn't get any hits on our jugs, but we got some landing right next to them. One landed right here, right behind this jug. Looks like another one hit right here. And then one landed over here to the side. And then we had one hit right here in front of our rim, and you could hear fragments splatter the rim. And here's a chunk of lead right there, which is obviously from one of the slugs, you can tell. Not sure which one. And then it looks like there's another one that hit right here. One landed over here. At least one landed right here in front of the car hood, maybe even 2 it looks like, but I'm not sure. And then we actually had one land underneath the car hood, and it hit the piece of wood right there. And you can tell it went right through it. But we actually got 2 hits on the hood this time, neither of which went through. Look at that. That's where the first slug hit, and up here that's where the second slug hit. So neither one of them went through, but they put a massive dent and did a lot of damage. And also, if you look underneath, look, the first one hit right around here. So it hit where it's reinforced quite a bit. And same with the other one in the back. So the other one in the back hit right here, and look at that. Look how reinforced it is right there. So our second hit on the hood hit right around here somewhere, but it didn't go through, it bounced off. I feel like if they hit where the hood wasn't reinforced at all, just a single layer, it would have went through. But since they didn't go through where it is reinforced, had they hit where it wasn't reinforced, it would have gone through, but not with a lot of force, since it couldn't make it through the reinforcement. So it might cause some damage to soft materials like wiring or the water tank or something like that, but I highly doubt they would have went through and done any damage to any hard stuff like metal or the engine block or anything like that. Because if they had enough force to do that, then they would have made it through the reinforced areas on the hood, I think. But they sure did a lot of damage to the hood. Look at that. Massive dent. Both of them. So those are definitely hitting pretty hard still. They just couldn't penetrate all the way through the reinforcement on the hood. But like I said, I'm pretty sure they would have gone through a single layer of the hood like the 9 did. So it's not that the 9mm had more penetration really. It's just because it hit where the hood's not reinforced. But then we also got one landed way up here. And one of the ones that landed underneath the car hood, it came up and knocked its jug over. See if it did any damage to the jug. Nope. The jug appears to be fine besides a little mark right there, but there's no leaking. So it didn't really do any damage to the jug, but it did knock it over after bouncing out through the car hood. And look at that. There's a slug laying right there. And that looks like the one that went through the wood probably, because it seems like it has wood on it. Unless that's dirt, I can't really tell. It looks more like wood to me though. So there's a 1 ounce slug after going through that 1/2 inch thick board at 300 yards and hitting the ground obviously. That's pretty cool. And look at that. One of the pieces of cardboard behind the slugs came all the way out here with it. That's pretty funny. So I think that was our highest hit up here to the side. And that's all the hits I can find really. We didn't get anything too high. Seemed like they were dropping quite a bit because we had some landing all the way down there. Also there's another piece of lead laying right here. Obviously from a slug too. There's probably little chunks of lead laying all over the place. We already found that entire slug. So there must be lead splattered everywhere now. There's another piece right here. Obviously from a slug too. And there's no hits around that, so that was a piece of lead flying from one of the other impacts several feet away. Let's go ahead and look at the board underneath the car hood and see what the slug did to that. It didn't go through the car hood. Look, here's another little tiny lead fragment. But yeah, the slug didn't go through the car hood, it just went underneath it and hit this board directly. And clearly went right through it. There's the exit. Pretty massive exit still. And the entry right there. And then it must have hit the ground right there where you can see that little crater after hitting the board. And that's probably the slug I found over there like I was showing you earlier. That's pretty cool. So a slug will definitely go through this 1/2 inch thick board at 300 yards, even at an angle. Because it was like that, and you can tell the slug entered like that, so at an angle, which means it actually penetrated through more than just a 1/2 inch of it. Let's take one last look underneath. Right here's where the first one hit. And you can see a weird little dent. That bump there must be the reinforcement underneath it. And then our second hit here hit where it was even more reinforced, it looks like. Look at the dent on the back. So after scraping all the way along the hood like 3 inches, it still put this huge dent on the back here. And even right here it's reinforced. You can tell that's 2 layers right there, so that was more solid than just the unreinforced layer of the car hood. And it still dented it pretty good after denting all bits too. So they're definitely hitting pretty hard still. And there's one last look at the slug that I found that I'm pretty sure is the one that went through that board. And the piece of cardboard that I found too. So I was pretty inaccurate, I'd say, but I think the slugs themselves weren't, because look, we got 2 hits on the hood and most of them seem to be pretty in line with the hood except for a few a little bit to the left, and then it's one to the right, which that was probably just shooter error. But the slugs themselves I think were pretty accurate. Look at, and they're even in line pretty well with each other. The first hit's probably like 1 or 2 inches to the left of that second hit. That's pretty impressive. So definitely pretty accurate out here still, as long as you know how much it's dropping. And they're definitely hitting pretty hard still, that's for sure. A lot harder than the 9mm or the 22, you can tell just from the impacts on the ground. But anyways, that's all. Thanks for watching.